Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever or wherever you are watching. Let's talk about 90 Day Fiance Season 9, Episode 15. Last Sip Single. I started to say last sip single. How are you today? I wasn't sure I was going to make it on time because it just started thundering and lightning and the power went off and the internet had to be restarted. Chris is earliest in the room. Hey, Chris, how are you? Is that, trying to see what that emoji is. Is it a medal? It looks like it's a medal. I appreciate that. Let me get this lined up. I need to go the other way. Oh, everybody's coming in the room. That is what's up. Give me just a moment. There we go. Chris says, good here, still working. Fominky Latte says, hey, y'all. Chris says, you the champ. I appreciate. You don't know how much it helps me so much with the positive affirmation. I need that. Tournament says, hello to all you beautiful ladies. Okay, so let's get into, actually, it's kind of warm today, even though the temperature dropped a little bit because of the rain, but it's still pretty warm. Okay, feel better now. Tournament says, Lady Shaw's channeling her lovely tea. That is the hugest compliment because I ride for lovely tea. She is like one of the best to ever do it. So I appreciate that comparison. I love it. I sing her theme song. She has the best theme song. But this is, of course, episode 15 called Last Sip Single. I keep wanting to reverse those words. Last Sip Single. And we start off with something kind of nice, and that's Karen Guillermo's wedding. Today I'm calling him Guillermo because he's a grown man. He's not Mimo today. He's Guillermo. And I wanted to first say that I love The styling of Kara's hair is very retro, and like we made jokes on Twitter about how we're gonna tell the children that this is Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, but now like with their styling, it's really really channeling that era. Oh, the look as well. Oh, that's even more. That's even more like of a compliment because Lovely T is absolutely beautiful. All right. I was saying, as much as I dog Kara out for her attitude and her cold dead eyes that I find particularly unsettling, she does make a very beautiful bride, and she picked a really great dress. I definitely have to give it to her for that. And Guillermo, I when I was watching this, I was like, this dude has been here before. Everything about his styling, like mind you, this I'm pretty sure he said he was 23 years old. That's a baby. But I think the last time he was on this earth had to be sometime in the 40s or 50s because dude, the suspenders, and not even the clip-on suspenders, the button suspenders, and the hair parting and the dippity do in the hair. This guy has been here before. He's reincarnated. He's back from the 1940s, and I'm living for it. I did feel kind of sad that he had to get ready alone. He didn't have any groomsmen. Like the only one there was Cheeky Mama. Is that the name of the dog, Cheeky Mama? I also liked Kara's mother's Mother of the Bride dress. This picture doesn't do it justice. It was very metallic gold and it was reflecting the light nicely. I thought it was a great look. And you could see like this is really really beautiful. I think they really really did it. There she is. That's Cheeky Mama. That's the only person that was there to keep Guillermo company while he was getting ready for his wedding. Tony Man says, I love this style, and if I had a chance to dress like that, you know I would. Well, you gotta get an office job. Even in an office job, I wouldn't feel like dressing that way. I when I worked in office, and for a few years I worked in insurance in Connecticut, because if you grow up in Connecticut, there's a 9 out of 10 chance that you will eventually work in insurance or have an internship in insurance because it's the insurance capital. But I always looked forward to casual Fridays because I hated the insurance company dress code. It's so boring. And as you can see, Guillermo's very, very happy to see his bride. And I keep looking at his face because he has a very, very visually pleasing face. Like very, like that aesthetically, everything is symmetrical, and he's just really, really handsome guy. I think he should try to do some modeling, maybe. I don't know if that's anything he'd be interested in, but I think he could do it. Like as for catalog, not like high fashion, because they like more. I don't want to say avant-garde, but like uber unique looking people in high fashion. Like if he had an oversized nose or gap in his tooth, then I would say, oh, go high fashion because they love that. But for him, I would say more catalog. He would do well with that. Or spokesmodeling, which is what they call it when you're in the commercials, when you do commercial modeling. Yeah. So they have their wedding, which was very nice. And they read their own vows and cut their beautiful cake. There was just a really, really nice scenery. Everything was a nice scenery. And Guillermo's family was there via, looks like maybe they used Skype or they might have used Zoom. Tony Man says, high fashion is more Steve Buscemi. Yeah, yeah, they really do like super, super interesting looking people for high fashion now. Like if you're an albino, like you like they want you to be super unique looking, not, and he's not, he's beautiful, but he's not unique looking enough for what they like. And notice I'm saying what they like. This is not what I like. I'm just saying the current trend in high fashion modeling. So I'm not speaking for myself, I'm speaking for them. I was saying, yeah, his family was there via Skype or Zoom. And I love that they took the time to go over and thank them and speak to them. That's the right thing to do. And so we end their story with, them yelling, "We're married." And they might be the only couple that actually got married during the season, because as we know, several of them are already married and shouldn't even be on this show. But these two, I think they actually were not married before the show. So that's what's up. Oh, Tony, man, that's not right. You said albino or Lizzo. You said it. I'm not co-signing that, but it did give me a chuckle. I won't lie. Next up, we go to Emily and Kobe. And this is Emily's face in the car when Kobe and Temperature were having a conversation amongst themselves in their native tongue. And ordinarily, when people are speaking their native tongue, I don't automatically assume that they're talking about me. So I don't care either way about it. But in this case, Emily got vexed about it, and she was kind of right, because they were literally talking about her. So in this one moment, she actually was right to be a little bit standoffish about them not speaking English in the car with her, because they were clearly doing it so they could have a side conversation without her knowing. Emily takes Temperature. Well, I should say Emily and Kobe take Temperature back to the house so they can show him the house. And I think Emily is expecting Temperature to be super impressed with her house, and he's not, which already gives her an attitude, because she thinks that I think she thinks much, or the whole family thinks a lot more highly of themselves than they should. They're on that same wavelength with Bilal, with this overinflated sense of self. Like, y'all are average, y'all are middle class. Yeah, you have some horses, but that's just a choice. Some people buy luxury vehicles, some people buy horses. It's a choice. You can drive a Honda and buy a couple horses, or you could buy no horses and drive an Audi. Like this, it's just a difference in what you want to spend money on. Either way, like, your Audi car note might be $500-700 a month. Feeding a horse is about $500-700 a month. So it's just choices of what you want to spend your money on. Very interesting. Um, Chris says Emily is a jerk though, so she can kick rocks. Yes. Oh, we're gonna get to that part. So after Temperature brings up, him kind of saying, "Well, I'd like to see you both have your own place," and Emily really, she was giving me Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but I'll come back to that. At that time, she's like, "We're not moving," and they kind of leave it alone. See, there's this the almost what I call shit eating grin on her face. We're not moving. She's just so ugh. She is that irritating girl from middle school, but she never left middle school. She's still there. And yeah, we all are putting our hands on our head to that, Kobe. Every time we see her, this is what we're like at home, putting our hands to our head. But you impregnated that twice. So, oh, I forgot to mention. Hold on, I skipped forward. Um, the "you are building a new family." That was when Temperature said that, and Emily flipped out because Kobe told Temperature that she's pregnant. But it's not like he's going to tell her parents anyway, so it's just something else for her to complain about. Tony says he already owns some livestock. That's mean. Oh my God. I just realized what you were saying. You're calling Emily the livestock. I mean, I do have a tendency to want to call her a heifer, but, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I bet Kobe's going to move. Yeah, I can't see this lasting. I don't think he has the same constitution that Benny has, because Benny comes from a different background than Kobe. Kobe does not come from, like I said before, he does not come from meager circumstances. He's not here because, oh, I need to better my life in America. He was already living a nice life in Cameroon and also in China. So he's not here for that same reason. So he has, other than his children, he has no reason to stay with Emily. Chris says she wants to stay up under her dad forever and she's out here making babies. Exactly. And her father had the nerve to say, "My daughter's an independent woman." Where? I'm not seeing it. No one is seeing it. So later on, she goes snooping through his iPad and she sees that this is the funny thing. You would think she'd be mad because like there was like some, I don't know, something negative on there, but it's just literally just that he looked at an apartment and this sends her into, a damn near rage because he looked at an apartment. So she stomps off into the barn. And I noticed something about the horses. When they showed Kobe in there with the horses were calm and he was feeding them and he was brushing their hair. When that breath of negative energy walked into that barn, the horses got a little bit skittish. They started backing away from the like the front of the opening of the, I keep forgetting the name, the stalls. They backed away like they don't like her at all. Like the horses don't like her. That's a red flag. And I'm mad at TLC for putting the subtitle here as if the horse is saying, oh, TLC ain't shit and it ain't never gonna be shit. He explains that he was considering it because A, Temperature sent him a link and he clicked on it, and B, being that there's more Cameroonians there, he feels that they will be able to help him to get a job. And of course, she's like, and here I get to quote whatever happened to Baby Jane. And what happened to Baby Jane, this girl was keeping, or this woman was keeping her sister hostage, so to speak. And she said to her sister, you aren't, and her sister was in a wheelchair, by the way, you aren't ever going to get out of that chair and you aren't ever going to leave this house. That's the way I was feeling when Emily was telling him we're not moving. It was like she was saying, you aren't ever going to leave this farm. You aren't ever going to get out of this house. Very much whatever happened to Baby Jane. Chris says they feel Emily's evil coming a mile off. Mm-hmm. Chris and Fo, be sure to stay tuned for Coast to Coast Horror at 5, a non-spoiler note review. Thank you for the plug, but I was going to do that later in the video. But thanks again for the plug. She probably yells at those horses. Yeah, she probably does. She probably practiced her evil on them before she got to Kobe. Next up is Shaeeda and Bilal, and I would be remiss if I said I didn't care. if I failed to mention that I don't care. I feel like I went through all the stages of grief with this couple, which I actually looked it up just to see whether I went through the stages of grief. I think they are, where are they? I wrote them down. Denial, because at first I was like, this can't be real. They can't be acting like this for real. This is all made up. This is just a storyline. Anger. Then I was, a lot of us, and some people are still in the stage of anger at Bilal, and anger at Shaeeda or Shaeeda. I keep wanting to say Shaeeda. I feel like her name should be Shaeeda, not Shaeeda, but whatever. Anger at her for not standing up for herself. And then what was the next? Bargaining. That's when people started reaching out to Shaeeda and trying to help her. And then I skipped over depression because I will never let a TV show make me feel that sad because it doesn't affect my life. But now I'm at the point of acceptance where I just accept that they're going to be who they're going to be. They're going to do the dumb shit they're going to do, and it has no bearing on me, and I shouldn't care. So that's the stages of grief that I went through with this couple. Apparently, at the very beginning of the segment, they do so Shaeeda chopping pillows. So I guess, oh wait, let me. Chris says she said her reminder already. That's what's up. Thank you. Bilal has probably taught Shaeeda how to chop the pillows just right because that's what she's doing now. Put this here. Tonya says, my bad. I was thinking about the skittish horses and was going to say she was going to feed them. Well, he was already feeding the horses and they were calm and they were coming up to the front of the stalls to kind of like, if horses can greet you, they seemed like they were greeting Kobe. But when she walked in, they all backed to like the back of their stalls and some of them were starting to turn around like, oh no, this bitch. I wonder if she can crowdfund a yoga studio. That's what I was thinking. They showed a picture of her on Twitter that she had just gotten 100,000 followers. So I don't think she needs to ask Bilal for any money. I think she could probably crowdsource it and start the studio on her own. So I don't even know why they're using that as a storyline. I think, also, I don't think he has the money to seed her business, but I don't know. That's just me. He could possibly have it. He just acts like a person that doesn't have money, but who's pretending to have money. That's the way I look at it. She invited his mother to come over and talk to her and try to give her some advice. And his mother's name is Halala, and she basically tells her to be more. It's a funny way she said it. She told her to be more submissive, but not really. What she really, when you read between the lines, what she told her was to let him think that he's leading, but you lead from behind, which is a twist on that old adage of the man being the head of the house and the woman being the neck. And I go back again to, where is all this patriarchy on the show when every season, every incarnation, it's the mother? Where's the father? Why is Shaeeda talking to the mother? Why? Oh, where's the father? The same. All these men talking about the men in the head household, but where are they? Where are these head households? I didn't see it with Sumit. Didn't see it with Jihoon. In the new season of 90 Day UK, I'm seeing the mothers speaking up. All this men running stuff. I'm waiting to show for y'all to show some men running some things, and I'm not seeing it. So I don't even know why we're putting on these airs. It's ridiculous. Even within this episode, who did it? Well, let me take that back. I started to say who did Muhammad talk to, but I remember that his father is deceased. So scratch that. But my point still stands with everybody else. All these women being the head of household telling other women to submit to men who aren't. It's not making sense. Is it making sense to y'all? It's not making sense to me. Chris says, I got money, but not for you, Bilal, probably. And she goes on to say, we have to learn that being right is not the most important thing. And she should tell that to her son. She's talking to the wrong person. She needs to tell her son that, not Shaeeda. But here's something for Chris. Later on, we get treated to Shaeeda trying to cook. And who cuts an onion like this towards yourself with this big, huge knife? That is, I don't think it's a paring knife. I think she probably should use a paring knife for this. I don't know. I'm not as into cooking. Somebody correct me, but this is definitely not the right way to cut an onion. And at first you think Bilal's being, irritating by saying you're going to hurt yourself. But looking at this, he's actually right this time. That, yeah, don't cut towards yourself. And you have a cutting board there. Put the onion flat on the cutting board. And I don't know. I don't have time for cooking tutorials. My point is, this is wrong. And then later he says, that fish is completely frozen. And she puts it in a bowl of water because apparently I don't know. She was acting like she didn't know that you couldn't just cook a frozen solid fish without thawing it out. I don't know what is happening in this scene. Chris says this show is 15% cooking nightmares. Yes. Whenever it's Shaeeda or Thais, like, keep them away from kitchens. Absolutely keep them away from kitchens. So they talk more about the prenup that I don't really care about because it's a moot point because of the stipulation in the K1 visa that says that he's in charge. Has to fund her for 10 years either goddamn way. So this is all BS. And like I said before, for children, it's called a trust fund. Make one. If you're wealthy. I'm sorry, that's for people that actually have money. Anyways, they agree that they're going to redo the prenup and he's going to try to have a child with her. Although I have an inkling that this dude has already got a vasectomy and hasn't told her. He seems like the type. So they have come to that agreement and that's the end of their story. Next up, Patrick and Thais. Now, Patrick is dead wrong for watching Thais pack to take her to Boston and not telling her about hats, gloves, scarves, socks. Because when she got out in Boston, there's snow on the ground. And mind you, she's from Brazil. She's not used to this weather. She has no socks on. She has a little thin sweater. And like, dude, you might be used to it. And I hate to say this, but a lot of European Americans deal better with cold than people of color. And he could walk around with a light sweater on and not feel anything. But people of color tend to need more warmth in the wintertime. And I know she was freezing her tail off. This dude, he could have told her, or he could have ordered, a hat, scarf, glove set for her and a winter coat in Boston. Later, they go out to dinner, and this is Patrick's sister who says she slipped on ice. But unless the ice is shaped like a fist, I don't know how this could happen. Like this does. What do y'all think? Does this look like what type of ice do you slip on that gives you a shiner like this? Because I'm not. I mean, I hope that she's not in a situation where she's being abused. Hopefully, she just got into a bar fight or something. But that looks fish shaped to me. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Um. Also at the dinner is what was this young lady's name? His sister's name is Tiffany, and well, I thought I wrote down Alicia. I did write it down. So his sister Tiffany and their family friend Alicia come to dinner with them, and they ask questions to Thais about basically how she feels about getting married, because they're a little bit unsure that she even loves Patrick. Because earlier at the bridal shop, I forgot to mention, his sister asked Thais what she loved about Patrick, and damn it, Thais could answer that question. She really couldn't, because she couldn't say what she loved about Patrick at all. It was sad. I feel bad for him. So they talk more about where they're going to live, and Patrick's mother, well, this Patrick is not looking too comfortable about what's happening, but his mother is, there she is, asking Thais, does she really want to live here? She looked like she got tapped. Thank you. It's not just me. She looked like somebody put that work on her. That's not, I mean, someone tweeted, how did you get in a fight with ice and lose? But anyways, Patrick's mother is saying, asking Thais if she's sure she want to live in the United States, because she doesn't seem like she really wants to live here, but that she's only here just to be with Patrick. And Thais honestly says she's not sure whether she wants to live here. And shout out to her for being honest. And Thais says she's not sure what she's going to do. This is what she's looking like at the table. She wasn't sure what she's going to do about the situation, because she still has that issue with her dad. And then also his mother was like, well, if you have a baby, you're not taking a baby back to Brazil, which is not your choice, ma'am. Like, that would be between her and Patrick. You don't get to tell her what she's going to do with her baby, but whatever. And that the dinner ends when his mother says that her oxygen tank is going low, so she's got to go home when she don't have any more batteries for her oxygen tank. So that's how that ends. Everybody getting up and going. Next up is Yve and Mohamed, and I actually liked their story arc. Believe it or not, I didn't think it was going to happen, but they actually had a decent story arc. Starting with Mohamed calling his mother. I'm assuming the other lady there might be an auntie or his grandmother, but he calls his mother because he feels like he needs her advice. And this is a really, really great scene, because, he's saying how he loves her from the bottom of his heart, and she's saying that she misses him too, which is nice. And he asks her about, oh, I forgot, they gave us a picture of him before he left Egypt with him and his mother, and you can see how happy they are together. I think he has her eyes and a little bit her smile. So he asks her about the cultural differences that he's experiencing with Yve. I need to take a sip of something. I think my allergies are just really bad today. I apologize if you hear me sniffling. And to his mother's credit, she says, Mohamed, she lives in a different place. We cannot force her or impose our traditions on her. Now that's what's up. Chris says, between this and what she said to her dad, I don't see that working. Yeah, I don't see Thais and Patrick staying together. I think they could probably push out 2 years. That's my my prediction. 2 years. And then his mother goes on to say, try to adjust yourself in a nice way without being grumpy. And he says to his mom, I'm being grumpy. And she says, yes, you're grumpy. So he says he is amazed about what his mom said, which was basically, chill. You're an American now. She has her culture, you have your culture, try to adjust to her. And I think they both should try to adjust to each other. But I thought that was nice that his mother had that to say. That was really what's up. And then later he takes her out to dinner. And at first she's looking at the wine list, but then she decides not to get wine, which is growth on her part because she knows it makes him uncomfortable for her to drink all the time. So that was a nice compromise to have a night without wine. Later, he takes her outside. And I actually have some a little tiny snippet of this because I thought it was so awkward yet cute. So he takes her outside, and this is the little awkward. Let me hit play so you can see this. He's trying to kiss her. I just thought that was so cute. His awkwardness is cute. I'm going to play it again. And so he asks her to marry him, which I don't understand why this is a scene because they were already planning a wedding. So I assume that he had already asked to get, this is so backwards. Like last week they were looking at wedding venues. Then this week he asked her to marry him. That's a little bit backwards, but okay. And what I like about how the conclusion ended up, because she did say yes, of course. And there's the ring. Very nice. He takes her over here and he says, I think I wrote down his exact words. He brought a lot of fires for her, which was his way of saying that he was more accepting of her culture because of the fire ceremony. So he asked her, does she want to make a wish on the fire? And she does. And then they take a moment and he raises his palms to Allah and he says his prayer. And I thought that was a great moment of them sharing each other's cultures and being accepting of each other's cultures. I thought that's one of the best things that happened in this episode. Tonyman says he's a rookie at kissing. Well, he's young. And I think this is his first girlfriend. So, like, Fomikilai says, wait, I thought he already. That's what I did too. Because last week, were they not looking at wedding venues? So why are we getting a proposal this week? It just kind of didn't make sense. Unless he proposed without a ring and then he finally got a ring this time. I don't know. I don't know why the order of events are so backwards. It's weird. And then that brings us to, do I have any more with them? Nope, just Jibri and Miona. And I literally just have one image for Jibri and Miona because I'm going to get into some of the tweets. They're leaving, and of course, they've got to, have their matching outfits on. Although I am a fan of the colorway of orange and pink or orange and fuchsia together. I like that. This dude has all these, look at the sneaker boxes. But yeah, they're leaving. The notes that I wrote is that they move out in matching pink jackets. He says that he's going to make it and make them proud to his parents. And there was a nice moment between him and Brian where Brian says, I love you, Jibri. And Jibri says, I love you too, Dad. And that was just a really, really sweet moment. Brian does joke, send me some money. So that was kind of cool. The parents tell us that they're anxious and nervous about the situation, although I still think his mom's trying to play a power move by not attending the wedding. She probably could attend the wedding, but she has it in her, I guess you want to call it stubbornness, that because they're doing something I don't agree with, I'm not going to support it. That's what Mahalia is giving me, that she does not support what they're doing, so she's not going to go to the wedding when she absolutely could go to the wedding. I don't believe for one moment that she couldn't attend. Tony says TLC dropping a ball on that story. Oh, dropping the editing ball on that story. Oh, you wait till we talk about 90 Day UK. The editing is so whacked. Like there's one story that they're telling where this girl straight up has face full of makeup, no makeup on, then face full of makeup, then no makeup on, and it's supposed to be within the same scene. I'm like, what are y'all doing? It's so blatant. By the way, I may not be able to do 90 Day UK tomorrow at 4 because I have to go to the DMV at 2:30, and I have no guarantee that I will be out of the DMV at a decent time. I'm hoping that will be done, but if I'm not on at 4 o'clock, you know why? Because I'm still at the DMV. So would you guys prefer I just go an hour later, or whenever I come back, or should I just push it to Thursday at 4 o'clock? Let me know. Fomikilati says the editors really be splicing and dicing the footage. Yes, they do. They do. Remember the scene with Ari's hair being braided and then unbraided and braided again? There's a lot of continuity errors in 90 Day. That's why when I talk about the show, it's almost like I'm talking about a fictional show because you can't take um, anything that you see for complete truth. Especially like look at the picture we're looking at. These are two people who have been married for 2 years, and we're supposed to believe the whole thing with. See, I even fell for it because I just had a whole thought about Mahalia not attending the wedding when in reality their wedding already happened. So I don't even know what I was talking about. Mahalia was just like, I don't feel like acting for this show anymore. That's what she's doing. Phil says, whenever you feel like doing the review. Okay. I appreciate that because I don't want to. I feel like if I do it too late, that it won't be on everybody else's schedule. Because I try to plan these so that they're like the last hour of the workday. Because I feel like that's a fun thing to do. But we will see tomorrow. All right, let's see what tweets we have. Here's my ad that Tony Man was talking about. 5 o'clock tonight. Well, actually, 5:10. I think I put it at 10 minutes after 5 or 15 minutes after 5, just so I would have some flex time between this live stream and that live stream. But I will be live on my other channel. What did I just watch? With wordsmith Crystal Connor, who is an award-winning horror author, and she is also the co-host of Coast to Coast Horror with Crystal and Shasha. So we will be talking about Nope tonight. This one is a part 1, so it's going to be spoiler free, and then we'll do part 2 on her channel, which will be spoiler filled. But the part 2, I'm not sure of when it's going to post because we're going to record it because we might have to edit some things. So we're going to record the part 2 and then post it on her channel. Tony Man says, I'd rather hear your DMV review as well. Yeah, Florida DMV. Yeah, at the beginning, I will tell you how that went. Okay, here are some tweets. Jennifer says, oh, let me take this down so you can see better. Thais's dad made some valid points about being cautious of rushing into marriage. Brazilian women that have been cast for the show have not been so lucky. I was thinking about that the other day because I remember saying on Sunday, I wonder if her dad has reservations because he saw Paul and Karini's story and saw, how unhinged Paul is, and then saw Larissa and Colt's story and how Larissa ended up, getting arrested and being on probation. Yeah, I could see where her dad would be like, I'm not so sure about this. Ash says Bilal has led himself to 2 divorces. So now what, mama? Which is true. I have to remind you guys again that Shaeeda is wife number 3. Sergeant Meowenstein says, which is funny because it's a picture of a dog instead of a cat. I would think it would be a picture of a cat. But anyways, they say, how long before those shoes are for sale online? Hey, I don't know. He sold his pants. Marissa says, U.S. politics these past few months in a nutshell. And this is Thais's father saying, and with Americans, what we see in the newspaper, the news, not good. I can't say I disagree with that. That's about the size of it. 90 Day Fuckery says, wow, at this Karen stomping out to the barn to confront a grown man over some Google searches. I think that's all. Oh, nope, there was one more. Carlene says, Jibri and Miona's outfits aren't the flex they think they are. They look like the Van Waldenberg pair. I've never seen Van Waldenberg, but I just thought the photo was funny. Look at Jibri looking so serious. You're so serious with this. It's okay to smile in a picture. It really, really is. Junk Reality says, but the dress that Bilal, this is referring to the bumper that we got for next week's episode, which is going to be Bilal's sister bringing the dress that she made, the wedding dress that she made for Shaeeda over, and Shaeeda not really liking it. Junk Reality says, but the dress that Bilal's sister made for Shaeeda and 3 other people to wear together, possibly room for one more. I'm sensing some shade. She made Bilal's ex-wife dress as well. Now, mind you, I think this is wife number 1. This is not Shaeeda. This is his first wife, and then Shaeeda's wife number 2, and then Shaeeda will be wife number 3. And it's giving colorism tease. And the reason why I say that is because it's 3 women that very closely resemble each other. And I always say once is happenstance, twice is coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. That's all I'm saying with that. He looks much better here. He should bring back the goatee. I think that's all for this episode. I should see if they have the images up for the couples for UK. Okay. Fomicky Light says, what's even funky or funky? I'm not sure what you mean. Chris says he's got a type. Yes. I'm going to go online and just quickly see if they have any pictures of, because I watched the 90 Day UK, which is pretty interesting. I didn't see whether they posted the pictures of the couples yet. I'm going to type in meet the couples, 90 Day Fiance, meet the couples. Okay, Radio Times looks like they have some pictures up. Okay, I'm going to share the screen. Okay. Damn ad. Get out of here. Get going. There we go. 90 Day Fiance UK reveals 8 couples trying for love. Okay, the first is Sean and Christine. Tony Man says, I was trying to remember that once, twice saying at work. Thanks for the reminder. No problem. What's even funnier is that those 2 actors were married and got divorced. So Sean is 41 from Hampshire, and Christine is 42 from the Philippines. And they met online and have had a long-distance relationship ever since. They even share a child who was born in 2018, who Sean has only met 3 times. Next we have, she pronounced her name Bridie and Host. And Bridie is 31 from Rotherham, and Host is 28 from Lebanon. And they've been together for 2 years after meeting online while playing a game. Victoria and Sean. Victoria is 33 from Wolverhampton. And yeah, she is obsessed with all things Japan. I don't know whether that makes her an otaku or a, what's the other one? A weibo? I'm not sure. I'm not sure the name of there is a specific name for people who are obsessed with Japanese culture. Just like if a person was obsessed with English culture, they call it an Anglophile. Like there's a word for, I wonder what you call a person that's obsessed with American culture. There's got to be a name for that too. Anyways, It was via her Japanese-themed Facebook page that she met Sean, 42, who hails from. He's from Kyoto, Japan, and his name is not Sean. It's like Shinsu or something. His name is not Sean. He goes by Sean though. KD and Alejandro. Katie is 26, nurse from West Yorkshire, and Alejandro is 30 and a fitness fanatic from Mexico. And it looks like they met in 2021 on an international dating site, and they hadn't met in person before the show. But Alejandro is going to travel to UK to spend 4 weeks with Katie. I hope he also brings the right clothing to go from Mexico to the UK, because it's a temperature difference. Fomiculitis says Weibo. I think that's how it's spelled. And Tony Man says, I think they all fall into the category called Uber nerds. Okay. Let's see who else is on here. Richard and Kathleen. Richard is 41 from Preston, and he met Kathleen, who's 32, who's also from the Philippines, on a dating app after being, quote, fed up with dating British women. Oh, he's one of those. That's the same thing that homeboy said that got on FISA. He was fed up with American women because they were too they weren't traditional enough. They were too strong-headed, and he brings over Anfisa, and she basically kicked his ass and took his money. It's not funny because she was truly abusive. Like, she punched that dude on TV. What did she key into his car? Idiot. Kicked him out of his own apartment. But, I mean, American women were too headstrong, and he needed someone more docile. He's one of those. We'll see how this turns out. Let's see. He's a quiz show host. He's looking for a housewife, and is head over heels with Kathleen, even going as far as to visit her and her family in the Philippines. Despite wanting someone to take care of the home, Richard doesn't have a good track record of being faithful. Oh, and you're a cheater too? Oh no, you don't. See, this is the thing. Some guys want to date Asian women because they have the mistaken assumption that they are docile, or that they're like doormats and you could walk over them. This is not true at all. They're the best at revenge, especially icy cold revenge. Do not mess that woman over. You will be sorry. You will be sorry for messing that woman over. I'm telling you that right now. Emma and Hossein. Emma is 44. I thought she was older than that. Wow. Emma's 44, single mother from West Yorkshire, and she met Hussein, who is 33, and he's from Iran. And they met 6 years ago over Instagram. Says the pair hit it off immediately, despite having different interests. She loves going out with her pals, while he's a bodybuilder who loves posting selfies. This feels like it's going to be a possible Angela Michael type situation, or it could be a Jenny Submit type situation. Fomiculae says, but pronounce Weibo. Okay, Weibo. Thank you. And Chris says, let him find out the hard way. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, because I have some Asian girlfriends that will give you a run for your money on that docile-ish. Like, no. No. I don't even know where that stereotype comes from. Maybe from years ago when there was a language barrier. I think that's what it still comes from. Like, when you don't know what they're saying, then you assume that they're not saying something. But yeah, learn their language, and then you'll get a whole different idea of what's happening. Oh, I spoke too soon. This might be the new Jenny and Submit. Pat and Sam, they were not featured on the first episode, but they'll probably be on the second episode. But she reminds me of that lady from American Horror Story. But I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, there's an actress on American. She's not a monster. She's just an actress. She has red hair. She's older. She's a great actress. But she reminds me of her. Despite their big age gap, Merseyside native Pat. Oh, Merseyside native Pat. Okay. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know all the English townships or towns or cities. But it says Merseyside native Pat is 68, while Sam, who hails from Pakistan, is 28. These two appear to have a lot in common. Both nurses and both Christian. They connected when Sam sent Pat a friend request before telling her he felt an attraction to her. It wasn't long before they chatted over the phone, and Pat is convinced the relationship is the result of fate, even if they've never met in person. I hope you notice how I'm correcting these typos on this article as I'm reading it. Because like some things in this article are grammatically incorrect, and I've been correcting them as I'm reading it. Fomicula says Richard might see antifreeze in his future. Hopefully not, though. Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. You didn't hear from me, but allegedly, supposedly, possibly, some say that if you put tiny bits of antifreeze in people's things that they're ingesting, that it makes their liver shut down, and it just looks like they had liver failure. I don't know. I'm not condoning this. I'm not advising this. I'm not. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not co-signing this. I'm just saying it's a thing that I have heard. Allegedly. Callum and Martin are our last couple, and they might be our Kenny and Armando type situation. Callum is 28 and hails from Perth, Scotland, while Marvin is 26 and is from the Seychelles. I'll have to look that up. I don't know where the Seychelles is. Oh, I feel it. See that American school system. I need to. That's a shame that I don't know where that is. The pair met by chance while scrolling through international Tinder. I didn't know there was an international Tinder either. Wow. And Marvin made the first move by telling Callum just how attractive he is. How attractive he thought the Scot was. I'm guessing Seychelles might be an island. I'm not sure. I'm gonna Google right now where the Seychelles is. Though the pair have never met in person, they were introduced. We're introduced to them on the show. They often talk about their dream wedding and how they can make their life together work. Okay, so that looks interesting. I'm Googling where's the Seychelles. I did guess right. They are islands. Okay. They are 1,000 miles east of Kenya and northeast of Madagascar. Images. Oh, that is beautiful. Good luck with trying to get him to move to England. You need to be moving to the Seychelles with him because this is freaking paradise. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not moving from this to England. No. Look at this. I mean, that's a resort, but still, I couldn't do it. I couldn't move from here. Are there any pictures that this is the Seychelles? Well, we learned something else from the Learning Channel today. There we go. Here's a more populated area. You can see the neighborhoods. Kind of looks like how the Florida Keys look a little bit. I mean, the neighborhoods, the way the neighborhoods are set up. But yeah, that is gorgeous. Let me get myself ready to get out of here, but let me see what other comments we have here. Tommy says, I have been feeling kind of ill lately, pain in the liver. That's not funny. Don't make jokes like that. You had me going for a second there when you said you were feeling ill, and then you added that. Oh my goodness, that's not funny. But yeah, there was a cartoon. Who made fun of that? F is for family. F is for family. There was a character that, oh my God, I just noticed my face looks like a different shade from my body. And that's because I was out by the pool and I did get a little bit browner, but my makeup is still, I need to correct that. I'm still wearing my winter makeup. Although I don't have a full face, I just put foundation around my eyes because I have dark circles around my eyes, but still it looks too pasty. I don't like, or maybe it's the lighting because when I lean away from the light a little, so I need to move the light further away from me. That's what I need to do. So you guys can see my face is technically not too much of a different shade than my body. Anyways, let me get ready to get out of here and get ready to stream with Crystal. We are, like I said, we're going to be talking about Nope. Not just the movie itself, but the movie theater experience, because it's been a long time since I have been in a movie theater. And coming back into a movie theater was definitely an experience. Oops, there it is. Tony Man says, I need to hit the pool soon, seriously. And yeah, same. When it stops being stormy during the day. But with that, let me get out of here because then I only have like 10 minutes to get set up. Well, I don't really have to set anything up on the computer, but um, kind of go over my notes and everything because I saw Nope on Sunday and it's now Tuesday. So it's kind of, I like to do things when it's fresh in my mind. That makes it easier, but I'm sure just talking to Crystal will jog my memory. So with that, let me get out of here. I will see you all possibly tomorrow. If it ends up being too late tomorrow, then it'll definitely be Thursday for 90 Day UK.